is the ability to create real leaders. We are a nation and a region that believes in the labor movement, who starts out young and brings them all the way to the top. We have with us today the President-elect of the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades, who will be leading for Northern California in Washington, D.C. for the whole nation. It is a great honor for the labor movement in Sacramento to welcome one of its own, an incoming president from an international union, who will replace a great leader, Brother Williams, who's fought for labor councils across this nation. Join me in welcoming Ken Rigmater, the man I won precincts with 20 years ago. All right.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Bill. And I got to tell you, I was born and raised about 120 miles south of here in San Jose, California. I love it. I've been on the East Coast now for 14 years. And to come here today, to be with my brothers and sisters in the labor movement, just does my heart well. I want to thank everybody for coming here to this 113th anniversary picnic for Labor Day. And I especially got to thank, and I hope you don't mind me shouting out, seeing people like my apprentice, Gray Wolf, my business representatives, Sam Trujillo, Vincent Echeverria. You guys are the best, and you made a road warrior feel good today. Thank you so much. And I want to tell you all, in my travels across the country, as the President-elect of the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades, one thing that I'm doing is I'm stumping for the re-election of President Obama, and I'm stumping for the many issues that impact us all across this great nation. I want to share a little bit with you before we talk a little bit about my home state, your home state where you live and work, California. There's a thing called voter suppression. I was in Alabama in December of last year and was able to see immigrant workers, dreamers, those children of immigrants who were born in this country and who should have a right to pursuing the American dream, being disenfranchised, being abused, turning school systems on children to make the teachers rat out the students so they were afraid to even come to school. That's a travesty, brothers and sisters. But that just goes to show you the depth of those 1%ers who will do anything to suppress our vote, to suppress our right to be union members, to suppress our right to be human beings. You need to know that. Now, how does all that fit together? You've got President Obama running for re-election. I don't think I need to tell you what he's done, but as a building tradesman, I can tell you what he's done for my union. I can tell you what he's done for the Ironworkers Union. I can tell you what he's done for the Sheet Metal Workers Union, every building and construction trades union. He's done what the previous president didn't do, and that's approved project labor agreements. Project labor agreements have been responsible for creating more hours, more job opportunities for the building trades members, and enabled them to make wages, to be able to make a sustainable middle-class income, to pay their taxes, which pay for the services that we all need and all expect as American citizens. Healthcare, police services, fire protection, community services, and yes, even having good school teachers. We have to support President Obama's re-election. As the other speaker said before, General Motors going in the tank. How many United Auto Workers would have been put out of work if that company went down the tubes? What would happen to those members? $2 million in infrastructure expenditures. Project labor agreements approved. He's done everything he could without the help of an intransigent Congress to make sure that those of us who are working families, those of us who work for a living, those of us who try to provide for our families so that they can have the middle class lifestyle that we all aspire to. President Obama comes from where we came from. As you know, when he first got elected to the Senate, he still had student loans to pay off. He comes from where we come from. Working families. As an organizer in the city of Chicago, he worked and tried to benefit the lives of the community members, person by person by person. That's exactly what we do as union members. Person to person to person. And we've celebrated the highs when we've done a great job, and we've also struggled through the lows when things didn't work out the way they should. But just like us, President Obama gets up every day with us on his mind to do what he can to make a middle-class lifestyle attainable to all of us. And that's the first of a punch. Those that would not want President Obama elected are the same folks that want to pass Proposition 32. The same people. You know what Proposition 32 does. It'll suppress your right to raise funds for the political activities that we need to do, because that 1% sure as hell ain't gonna help us. It will suppress us in our ability to organize. It'll suppress us in being able to grow as a union. And what's next? If Proposition 32 passes, what's next? The next thing that's gonna happen, job site protections, health and safety protections, being able to organize, being able to have a union. It's just the beginning, brothers and sisters. And if we don't stand together like we did against 226, against 75, and against 32, and re-elect President Obama and turn down 32, that's the future that awaits us. I will tell you, all work has dignity, and work connects us all. What we do as members, we may not have the money of the super PACs. We may not have the Lear jet to fly people all over the place. I'm traveling around the country, coach on Southwest, and glad to do it. I will tell you, if we don't unify and do what we do best, DC 16, every other union here, and I know I see the purple of SCIU, I see the iron worker, who else? I think I saw teachers here. All the unions, raise your hands and shout out. Let me see your colors. Where are you at? All right. If we don't stand together, mobilize, put feet on the street, phone bank, job site visits, door knocks, knock and drag on election day, the future will look dire for us. So I'm just here to tell you, as a native-born Californian who just loved this band today, I gotta tell you, opening up with Sly and the Family Stone, all they needed was a horn section, and I'd have been at Frenchie's over in Hayward. What a flashback. Some of you may remember. But I gotta tell you, if we don't get out and mobilize, feet on the street, door knock, phone bank, by any means necessary, the future looks dire. So as a native Californian, I want to encourage you all to get out say no to 32 and yes to Obama. No to